Belima, you raised your hand. I'll attend to all questions at the end of the session. Please, if you can just bear with me till we finish the presentation, and you can ask your question then, if you don't mind. Thank you so much. All right, so ground rule, please let's mute our mic at all time. I'll start by, my own presentation, introducing you to the company, myself, introduce you to the facilitator who will tell you more about the journey. We'll call on few of the students, probably a couple of the students from the last session that finished in December, just to give their testimony or share one or two things with us. And we now attend to any question that you might want to ask regarding probably the presentation, the journey, the training, the work experience. Then we take all questions then. All right, so let me start by introducing myself. My name is Akin Oladeji, and I'm the founder of Learn with Pride. And what we do at Learn with Pride is help people that wants to transition from whatever the background, whether non-IT, non-technical, into IT space. So we have trainings, practical trainings, ranging from project management, business analysis, Scrum Master, product owner, DevOps engineer, software automation testing, UI UX, and cybersecurity. So the reason we've been going strong for going to 4 years now. And the reason for, or why I'll say we are different, is because we understand the need of people. Many people wants to transition, right? But not everyone wants to go back to uni to study BA or to study wherever, Everyone is looking for that someone that can hold them hand by hand and walk the walk with them. So that is where we come in. We provide a practical training that will really get your hand dirty. Not only that, you have the opportunity to work on a live project. When I say live project, you'll be working on a live project. So you'll be working in an agile methodology, agile setup in a Scrum team, whereby you have a Scrum Master, product owner, business analyst, developer, testers, product designer. You'll be working as part of a team to deliver a particular functionality at the end of the sprint or whatsoever. So that is what we stand for. And God's so good. God has been using us in one way or the other to, help people that need that help. A brief introduction about myself. My background was accounting. My first degree, second degree, I've got masters in accounting as well. But it got to a stage that I wanted a career break. I needed it badly, desperately, because I wasn't enjoying the accounting that I was doing again. So I'm back on a similar training, like a 3-month training as well. Back then, although there wasn't any kind of support, I went into software automation engineer, which involves, it's a technical IT, which involves you writing code in programming language like C# to automate a particular functionality. I have no background, I have no knowledge when I joined that course, but because I was desperate, I wanted that change badly. And, I started it. And it was a 3-month course as well. To cut the whole story short, with determination, anything can happen. I'm not only doing the job now, I'm training others to become someone like me, to become like me. And this is me, as I said, my uni days, my master's was accounting. But because I was so determined, I put in the work. That is the key. I put in the work, sleepless night and all of that into the process, and it works. So not only am I doing the role now, I'm training others on, how to become one. And that goes to anyone that with determination, you can do it, especially when you have that support. I think the key here is the support. You need that support, and that is what we are providing you at Learn with Pride. So quickly, I'll go through my slide, and I don't want to waste too much of your time. I will introduce the facilitator who will share one or two things with you as well. Then we'll take questions on board. All right, so Scrum Master, let me start with my slide. I believe everyone can still see my slide. So about Scrum Master and Product Owner. So quickly, one thing I forgot to mention is this will be a 3-month program whereby the first 4 weeks will be used for the practical training. And even when you are undertaking the practical training, you still have like a mini project that you have to undertake as part of that practical training. And the other 2 months will be you working on a live project. Again, it's like you are getting 2 trainings for the price of one, if not 3 trainings for the price of one. You'll be trained as a Scrum Master. You'll be trained as a product owner and a little bit about business analysis. So on your CV, you can boldly put on your CV you've worked as a Scrum Master, you've worked as a product owner, and you've acted as a business analyst as well. The essence of this is for you to, tap into the potentials, not restrict yourself to just Scrum mastering. All these roles go hand in hand, and you can do them all. And the way it is structured, at the end of that 3rd month, or by the time you finish the journey with us, you'll be able to compete with those who has been doing it in the industry for 2, 3, 4 years. And I'm talking from experience. It's something that has happened to me. It is something that is happening to my students, and it's your own case will not be exceptional. So when you put in the work, at the end of your 3-month process, you'll be able to start applying for roles because you've had that hands-on practical knowledge. You've worked on a project, you've worked as part of a team, you've worked in an agile setup. You understand the rituals in agile, so you'll be fit to compete effectively for anyone, as in with people that has been doing it in the industry for many years. And this is only changing career is not only restricted to people probably in the UK, anyone around the world, whether you are in Australia, whether you are in Nigeria, whether you are in Ghana, Zimbabwe, South Africa, it's something that after acquiring the knowledge, you can get a remote job, whether in your local country or in a foreign country. These are all the things where to apply, site to apply. These are everything that we are going to be telling you as part when you enrolled on the course and as part of your journey with us as well. All right. So quickly, benefit of Scrum Master, which I'll leave. I'll leave this one to the SME, the subject matter expert, which is the facilitator that will be taking you on the course to shed more light into all this benefit. But as part of the benefit of Scrum Master and Product Owner in any organization is, stay relevant, a proud owner, transformation in mindset, expanding Scrum knowledge foundation, improve group understanding, ability to judge risk, and to be a better communicator. So why do you want to consider a career as a Scrum Master or as a product owner? It's because it's one of the highest paid occupation out there right now that you can get. And if you are looking for the most easiest point of entry to any IT jobs, you should consider Scrum Master. It's like you are doing little and you are getting well paid. Everybody prays for, you do little job and you really get well paid. Your pay, what they are paying you is not, you can't compare it to the little work that you are doing. That is Scrum Master for you. The permanent role The average salary of a permanent, if you're taking up a permanent role in the UK, it's around £56,000 per annum. But if you're considering a contract role, right, the average is like £400 per day. If you're getting a £400 per day, that is like 8,000 per month. That is a lot of money. And as I said, if you're considering a career move, Scrum Master is your best bet because it can't get it any easier than that. And as I said, you're not only getting a Scrum Master knowledge from the training, as well you'll be trained as a product owner, and you can as well act as a business analyst, because sometimes when there's no BA on your team, the product owner has to take the responsibility of a business analyst. So that means you have to gather requirements, convert it to acceptance criteria, user stories, and all of that. So you will know how to do all of that. All right. Why Scrum Master or product owner? You can work remotely from anywhere in the world. Since post-COVID, that's one of the advantage COVID brought to us. Ability to work remotely. Companies they've now realized that it's not under must for you to be in the office before you deliver. So that is why you see foreign companies recruiting from any part of the world now. You might be in Nigeria and get a job outside Nigeria. You can be in the UK and get a remote job in Australia, in Canada. Your location doesn't have anything as far as you have acquired the knowledge. You can spread your wings and fly. If you are considering probably relocating as well, it's a good move as well. But what comes first is acquiring the knowledge. Without the knowledge and the experience, you can't really go far. Many people will run after certification. And I understand the way we were brought up, it's all about certification. But certification, it's not only about certification. Certification without the knowledge will not get you the job, because you only know the theoretical aspect to pass that certification exam. But the knowledge and hands-on experience that you have, without the certification, you can do the job, but you don't have the certification, you can still be recruited. And that is how we want to equip you. We preach more of practical and hands-on rather than certification. So what would be the roadmap? So the roadmap, as I said, it will be training, projects, optimization of brand, start applying for jobs, and you prepare for interview. Let's consider those ones one by one. So training, as I said, the program is for 3 months. The first 4 weeks will be your practical training. And as I mentioned earlier on, as part of your practical training as well, you're still going to undertake what is referred to as, I'll say, a mini project. This will be twice a week, 3 hours per session, twice a week for 4 weeks. And the other 2 months, which is 8 weeks, will be used to work on a live project with other team members. Like the developer will be on your team, the tester will be on your team, product designer, scrum master. You work as part of a team to deliver a particular functionality. So that's the structure of the training. And the person, the facilitator that will be taking you on the journey, has got many years of experience. And trust me, you can't get it better than this guy that will be taking you on the journey. And if you do everything he asked of you to do, you will testify at the end of the day. But I'll leave that to him to talk more about that. So after the training, remember, we are talking about the roadmap. Then after the training comes the project. You'll be embarked on a 2-month project, which is 8 weeks, as I said, whereby you work with other team members. And this phrase that I said earlier on, certificates alone cannot get you the job. You need hands-on practical experience to get the job. And that is what we provide. Then you've gone through the training, you've gone through the practical training, then come the another key stage in the process, which is optimization of your brand. You now have the knowledge, you have what it takes. You know how to act as a scrum master, you know how to act as a product owner. But if you are not visible to recruiters, nobody will call you. You won't get the call despite your knowledge, despite everything that you've learned, but you are not visible in the market, in the professional market, and you won't be getting calls. That is why this third stage or step is very, very key as well. What do I mean when I say optimization of your brand? That is your CV. You need to revamp your CV to the standard, to the international standard, so to say. And for that, we work in partnership with a company called Career Deck Limited on Instagram now, which they have, so many testimonies with the people they've worked with when it comes to rebranding, CV optimization or CV revamp or LinkedIn optimization. So another one is your LinkedIn. LinkedIn has become a professional marketplace whereby recruiters go to now to search for professionals and recruit them. So if you are not on LinkedIn, you have to create a profile on LinkedIn as well. But if you'll be reaching out to Career Deck Limited, they can do your LinkedIn optimization for you. They can do your CV revamp for you. You can contact them and you get discount if you say you are from Learn with Pride as well. So that is very key. You need to be visible in the market. And by the time you are visible in the market, that is when you start getting the calls. By the time you upload your CVs on all the job sites, with all the keywords on your CVs, outside the ones that you are applying for manually, recruiters will be reaching out to you because you've made your CV searchable or public. So they can see your CV and they can reach out to you that, oh, we saw your CV. Will you be available for a quick chat regarding this role? That is the place we want you to be. Because it's another thing for you to acquire the knowledge and you are not getting any calls. You'll be wondering what is going on. It's your visibility in the market. So that has to be worked on as well. And after that, when the first step, the second step, and the third step is out of the way, then you start applying for jobs. Recruiters will be calling you. They can see you on LinkedIn. You'll be getting emails and all of that. And the next one is the preparation for that interview. That is after you've been shortlisted for that role. We help and we assist with this as well, because it's not only about, as I said at the beginning of the session, we walk the walk with you. We want to ensure that at the end of the day, you are able to secure a role as well. And one of the ways we'll support you is through your interview preparation as well. So if you have interviews coming up, if you've been shortlisted, you want to do an interview preparation, we assist you uh, doing this interview preparation as well. So all right. So that is that. That is the roadmap. So the training, followed by the practical training, followed by the project, followed by your optimization of your brand, followed by you start applying for jobs and interview preparation. The next one is just to show you, this is from JobServe, how much you can be getting as a Scrum Master, how much you can be getting as a product owner. As you can see, 85 to 90,000 per annum. The first screenshot. That is a lot of money. And you'll be wondering, can someone who just finish a 3-month training can actually earn this much? I'll tell you yes. But me telling you yes, it's you, when you want to embark on this journey, you have to embark with the mindset that you have to give everything that it takes. It doesn't stop with the 3-hour session you have in the class on Saturday and Sundays. No, you have to do your own research. You have to be eager to know more, because your input at the end of the day will equals to your output. What do I mean by that? Your determination, your commitment into the process, will result, you get your outcome will be based on your commitment. So if you are the type that sit at the back bench when the training is going on, you don't ask questions, or when during the project, you push it to your team members to do your work for you, you are not learning anything. Remember, this is a training platform. You will not be crucified for getting something wrong. This is a platform to get it wrong so that you can be corrected. So everyone on the process needs to be active, even if you are doing the wrong thing, because you'll still be corrected. And once you are corrected, you know the right way to do it. Then at the interview, because if you don't go through this process, encounter the issues, the conflicts, the resolution, you won't really have story to tell at the interview. That is why it is key for you to bring your 100% commitment if you are enrolling on this journey. You have all the tools at your disposal. You have everything to succeed at your disposal. We give you everything to succeed. We support you. We mentor you. We'll train you. You have the project to work on. You get everything. It now depends on you that can you make A when the sun shines? Do you want to take advantage of everything that has been presented to you and use it to your advantage, use it to excel? So yes, you can you can go through a 3-month journey, and at the end of the day, you are getting. I'm still going to call few people on later on that can share their testimony with you. And the second screenshot as well, you can see paying from 60K to 75K. I didn't, this is a screenshot from the internet. No, it's not made up. This is another one paying up to 75,000. And you can see the other one fully remote paying 50 to 60,000. This is not beyond, at the end of the program, as I said, and if you commit into the process, you know everything that you meant to know as a Scrum Master. You know how to act as a product owner, and when the time for the interview comes, the question they'll be asking you during the journey, you might think you are not learning much, because you've not been tested, but by the time you start applying for jobs, going for interview, that is when you know that you've actually learned a lot. With what they will be asking you, we've done this big thing before. I did that at the project. It won't be new to you again, and that is what we want. So let me quickly round up. So if you are subscribing or enrolling today, this is just a today's offer for people that will be enrolling today. Right. If you are enrolling today, there'll be a 20% discount. So the cost is actually $499. For those that will be enrolling today, there'll be a 20% discount if you are enrolling today. All right. Half payment is required to start this journey, and the other half has to be paid before you start the project. That will be in 4 to 5 weeks time before starting on the project. So that is from me to you. If you want to enroll, that is the number on your screen. You can WhatsApp the number on your screen, or you can send a direct message on Instagram at Learn with Pride. And for your CV revamp, you can contact Career Deck Limited on Instagram as well. For now, this is where I'll be pausing, and I would like to introduce you to the facilitator that will be taking you on the journey to share more light into the role of a Scrum Master, into the role of a product owner, and to tell you more on the benefits that you can actually get from the entire training. So I'll call on you, Babatunde, if you can unmute yourself and probably share your screen.
All right. Good afternoon from here. Hakeem, good afternoon. A
Good
happy
afternoon.
New Year to you and to everyone else. I hope I'm audible. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
All right. So good afternoon, everyone. Okay, it's afternoon from here. I know we're probably from different part of the world. I think Aki has said almost everything that is there to be said, right? He has been able to whet your appetite as much as he should. But I'm just going to add few things before we go into the, few information that should be shared today. Yes, Scrum Master is a very lucrative job, highly lucrative, and but in
Don't worry, Craig. I'll give you a hand this time. Hard.
Babatunde, sorry, can you unmute yourself? I think I mute you.
okay,
Sorry.
yes, but there's a background
Else,
noise.
please, can everyone mute their mic, please? I'm muting you, Akindayo, and you keep unmuting yourself. Thanks. All right, go on.
All right, so yeah, thanks. All right, so before you get to that part where you start earning as much as I can show you, there is a process. You can't jump the gun. I think you need to do what is there to be done, right? And just like any other profession, just like any other thing, if you put your heart to it, you will get there. You will get to that peak, right? So for the sake of this, for those that will be joining this training, I will implore you, please. I know we have a lot in our hands. There's a lot of things calling for our attention, family, career, a whole lot of things that is calling for our attention. But as much as this is true, I also need us to be very, very um, participatory, so to speak, in this class, right? Just some few things that we need to do, some few assignments, group works that we need to do. And one of the dangers of working in group is that sometimes we leave some people to do this job. Please don't do that here, right? If you are grouped, please make sure you participate. I'm not looking for perfection. I just need you to, I want to see your errors, right? I need you to be free in making mistakes because this is the safest place you can make those mistakes. And I guarantee you, right, if you will put your effort, if you will put your attention to what we are going to do here, by the time you are done, you are good enough. Good enough. That's an assurance, right? You'll be good enough to, compete out there as a scrum master or as a product owner, right? So I'm just going to go straight to sharing my screen. Um, Yeah, can you see my screen, please?
Yes.
Yeah, can you? All right. All right. So just like the training is agile. We'll be training ourselves on agile, and in particular, the Scrum framework, right? Agile is a methodology for delivery solution. And please let me say this: no matter who you are in this class, I've probably been through it. I've probably been there. And I'm very much aware that there are probably about three set of people in this class, people who are just for the first time trying to transition into tech. You've not heard a lot of what you're going to be saying here. You've not heard it before, right? You know your history. You have certain history and background to your life, so to speak. Some of you have just relocated and you are now there and you found out that what you have been doing for the last 5, 10, 15 years is not sustainable. It's not going to sustain you anymore, right? And you are here now just so that you can quickly make that transition. I feel your pain. I know there are some people here also who might just who are trying to relearn. You have some level of information and knowledge about agile and scrum, and you're also here to relearn. It's fine. And probably some are here who just want to be sure that, I'm not missing anything, I hope I'm still up to date. Yeah, you're fine. Whichever category you belong to, right? The idea is to make sure that we all arrive at a safe place a place where every one of us is equipped enough, is knowledgeable enough to be able to take up these jobs. There are a lot of them all over the world. The demand is high. And I tell people this is one of the few areas of tech that might never be automated. Might never be automated. It has to do with human management. There is no automation that can manage human beings. There is no automation. Front end are being managed, are being automated now. Some level of back end are being automated now. But every part of human management, right? Managing people, you can't automate it because there are feelings, there are emotions attached to it. Machines don't see that, right? Even data don't capture emotions, right? So you are all welcome, and I hope we'll have a very good ride. So having said that, what is agile? I mean, some of us must have been hearing agile. Yeah, it's just an English word, just that same meaning you have in your head, agile, something. And when we say agile, we are talking of efficiency, we are talking of speed, we are talking of delivery, And how do we get here in tech? So I'll just give you a brief history of what agile is, and just to help us understand how agile is now, why it is now, the order of the day in software development, right? So before now, right, an average time, it takes at least 3 years to develop a software. Up to the mid-90s, it takes 3 years to develop a software. So I need you to picture yourself, right? If you are a company that is trying to develop a software and you have gone ahead to gather requirements, and you know how insatiable people are, you know how inconsistent we are as a people, right? You have gone to, some of you are probably asked, if I ask you what's your best color, some of you tell me blue. If I ask you that same question in 3 years' time, some people will tell me, oh, it's now lemon green. That is my best color, right? So yes, human beings can be like that. And software is not immune to these things. So imagine if you have invested in a software where you want to build, let's say an application, for example, where people can transfer money, just transfer money, and you have gone around to gather your requirement. People are saying, oh, we want this, we want that, we want this, we want it color blue, we want it color yellow, we want to be able to transfer, I want to be able to get a lot, and we have gone and invested in, developing this application. And because of the kind of methodology that was existing then, which was mainly waterfall, right? So you gather your requirements and you go into development. It will take you 2 years and 3 years to come out with that solution. And guess what? Most of the time, by the time you're coming out with that solution, it is almost as if people don't want it anymore because their taste has improved. While you were developing, their taste has improved. While you were developing, somebody else probably, release that similar application before you did, right? And sometimes the first to the market is the one that gets that takes all, winner takes all kind of a thing. So we found out that over time, this method of developing software was not sustainable. It wasn't reliable, right? So imagine you developed a software like what's it called now? Was it this one for Microsoft Word, right? Imagine, right, that it took you 3 years to develop. By the time you are releasing it, you find out that, oh, there's a similar one in market. You find out that you can't compete. The same people that said they want color yellow, color blue is now appealing to them. So we saw softwares failing over time, a lot of failures, software not meeting people's demand, and hence the demand for agile came, right? And what is agile? So what agile came to do is that, you know what, we don't need to wait for 3 years to build anymore, right? We can build in bits. We can build in bits. And what does that mean? When we say build in bits, what does it literally mean? It means, oh, let us focus on what people want now. That is the most important thing for them. And let us release it within a month, within 2 months, within 3 months. So while we are getting the others fixed, while we are looking at doing the others, let them have this. And a typical example is your applications. Each time you have to update your apps on your phone, it is because there is a new feature that has been added to it. So companies cannot afford to take a whole lot of time creating a software to have a perfect software. There's nothing like perfect software anymore. There's nothing like perfect application anymore. It is customer driven, right? It is customer driven. And as we speak, one of the things we do in in this on this platform is to infuse boldness in you. You see, right? Like I said, I've been there before. Some people might be here who are probably, this is probably their third training that they'll be attending, right? They've been to one Scrum class, they've been to another one. This is the third one they are probably in, or the second one. I feel your pain. And the reason could be that, you see, you just don't feel comfortable. I'm sorry, you just don't feel confident enough to proceed with your career. You feel there's still something missing. What is missing is that you are not bold enough. And that's one of the things we'll be infusing here, because you can finish the training here and you just don't feel okay. You just don't feel confident. You go somewhere else, you pay, you get trained, and then you still don't have the boldness to apply for jobs. And because you feel, oh, this is just my first time. Yes, we are here to train you to that level where you shouldn't nurture any fear, right? You shouldn't nurture any fear. So what is Agile? Like I was saying, Agile now brought that simplicity to software development, where, what do we need to do? We don't need to wait 3 years. Let us just do what people want part time, so that even if people's tastes change, we can easily adapt. We can easily respond to that change. And I know that as I speak now, some of you said there are certain examples that will come to mind. Examples like your WhatsApp. For those that, started using WhatsApp in the 2010 or 2020, you know that WhatsApp started with just end-to-end chats, just chats, end-to-end chats. There was a massive call for that kind of an application where people can send instant messages and you can receive instant messages on your phone. What we had before then was more of Skype, more of Yahoo Messenger, that required a desktop. You needed to be on the system to access some of these applications. But now WhatsApp was one of the very first and early applications that was on phone, that could allow you on phone to send instant messages and you receive their messages. That was what that was just what people wanted then. You know how it was then for people in Africa. You know how it was, back in the 90s, sending messages abroad. You could wait 1 month. I remember my dad, if he wants to send a birthday card to my brother, I will have to send it probably a month or two before his birthday, so that at least worst case scenario, he will get it maybe a day or 2 days or a day after his birthday. Right? That was how cumbersome, that was how stressful, that was how difficult it was to send instant messages then. Thank God for emails, right? So WhatsApp, people just wanted instant messages. That was just what everybody wanted. And then they gave it to them. WhatsApp came and then they gave them WhatsApp. You can now chat. After a while, the same people that wanted end-to-end chat, it was as if they wanted more fun with the chat. Now they were satisfied. And then like whisper, oh, I wish we could have this and that. Oh, audio call would have been better. It would have been better if we had audio calls. And then before you knew it, the clamor for audio calls now started increasing. What did they do? Now WhatsApp went into development again to add that feature, right? Okay, take audio call. After a while, wow, how about having group calls, having group chats? That would have been nice. That would have been awesome, And then again, through the feedbacks, they started responding to that. They added those features. So that is what Agile is about. Imagine if WhatsApp waited for 2-3 years to develop WhatsApp. They'll be developing WhatsApp for end to end, just to give people that ability to chat. By the time they are probably delivering that solution that will give people the ability to chat end to end, by the time they are delivering it in 3 years, they will now find out that, people have moved past that. People now want to do more than just chatting. They want to be able to send emojis. They want to be able to make video calls, and they'll probably have to go back to the drawing table and include all those features, and they will hibernate another 1 year or 2 just to put those features, right? So this is why Agile is now the order of the day. And, I like using the example of a pot of soup to explain my Agile, and waterfall. Waterfall is you just making a pot of soup, and depending on your expertise, depending on your experience, and say, I can actually make a pot of soup without having to taste it, right? I don't have to taste it. I'll just make it. I know, add this. And then by the time it's done, because you believe in yourself so much, by the time the pot of soup is done, So at that time, I now taste it. I now find out, oh, I should have added more seasoning. Oh, the seasoning is too much. Oh, I should have added more water. I should have, it's always the error at that level is always very high. The risk at that level is always very high. But in Agile, we test it as we build. Oh, these people want this app to be able to call. Let's build it. Once they build, they test. So it's like you now making a pot of soup, and each time every 10 minutes you open the pot of soup, you taste it, you taste for salt. The salt is fine. Oh, the salt is too much. You have that liberty, to adjust to change. That's the point. So as human wants changes, as human requirement changes, you can also easily respond to those changes. Remember, like I said, human beings, they want this today, they want that tomorrow. The same people that told you we want a cake, chocolate cake today, they'll tell you, oh, we want a vanilla flavor tomorrow, right? And so you can easily respond to that change. By the way, I didn't tell you my name. My name is Babatunde, by the way. So these are the values, and these are just some of the differences between the waterfall way of doing things and the agile way of doing things. Agile prioritizes the top, if you can see my screen now, you see the top part of this metrics is what agile prioritizes. Why waterfall prioritizes what the ones at the bottom, like individuals and interaction, right, above process and tools. So in agile, we prioritize individual and interaction, right? We don't focus too much on processes and tools, because processes fail, right? You agree with me? Processes fail. The fact that somebody went to school, for those that were born in the 80s, in the 70s, everybody thought being successful was about going to school. So you go to primary school, you go to secondary school, you go to university, then you should get a job. Then that's a process. Over time, we have seen that process has failed. If you were born in the 80s and for those with African descent, you want to tell your mom, you want to tell your parents, you tell your parents you want to go and do comedy, that you want to do comedy, you know what it is. Nobody's going to allow you to do comedy then, because nobody's going to allow you to do to go into acting, because as far as they were concerned, that process doesn't guarantee success. That process doesn't guarantee financial freedom. But we know now that is not the case. Processes fail, right? And that is what Agile prioritizes. Agile prioritizes interaction. As you interact with people, you get to understand that, oh, this is not what they want. This is what they want. This particular set of people don't like this. If you don't interact, how would you know that Muslims don't eat pork? If you were to open a restaurant in London, for example, and you just want to open a buffet shop, or a barbecue shop, you want to sell meat. If you don't interact with people, you just find that Muslims don't visit you. They don't come to your shop. The reason is they don't eat pork, and you are there just grilling pork, different types of pork, and you are, it is when you interact within that community, you find out, oh, this particular place you are, it's a Muslim area. You can't afford to be grilling pork. You can do beef, you can do chicken, you will sell, right? It is from individual interaction that you get to understand these things. So these are the things that Agile prioritizes. Then working software, Agile is more result driven, right? We are more result driven in Agile. Whatever gets us to the result is what we prioritize. So we prioritize a working software rather than a comprehensive documentation. No, so this is not to take away the part of documentation, please. Documentation is very important, and very important in Agile. We do document a lot, but it doesn't mean that we prioritize it. It is necessary for continuity. It is necessary for documentation. I'm sorry, it is necessary for the purpose of document keeping, so to speak. And then we also prioritize customer collaboration. We prioritize responding to changes. We'll talk extensively more on this for those that will be in the class. For those that will be joining us, we'll talk extensively more on this. And remember, for those that have been in my class, I think some of them are here. I don't like talking, because you can always read up. Yes, you can always read up. So the question is, why would you not want to take up a course on Udemy? Why should you be here? Right? Yes, we should be able to do something better than what Udemy is doing, and exactly what we do. So you can always read up. We are here to expose ourselves to the practicality of these things. And that's why the onus is on you, so to speak. that you really, really get your hands dirty. Don't be an observer, be involved, right? So we'll talk more on this for those that will be joining us. And then you can, that there's the agile principles and a whole lot. So in agile, right, there are different frameworks under agile, right? There are different frameworks. There is from some of us must have heard the safe agile, which is an acronym for scaled agile framework. There is the Kanban, there is the Scrum, there is the XP. These are all frameworks under agile, right? But the most commonly used one, and the one we'll be focusing on for this class, is the Scrum framework, right? So we'll be going through the entire ceremonies of Scrum. We'll be going through your responsibilities and roles in Scrum. We'll be going through the documentation in Scrum, what is required of you as a Scrum Master, what you should focus on, right? When you get the job, what you should be doing, how to interact with your team, what is expected of you is exactly what we'll be doing. We'll be doing them. We'll be talking about them, and we'll also be doing them. We'll be simulating them. The more you talk about these things, you will remember a whole lot of what you do. After this tester class now, I bet 90% of people will not remember 40% of what I say here. But there's a high chance that you remember a whole lot of, if you ask a question, you remember the question you ask. And this is the same mindset. You will not remember a whole lot of what I say, but you remember a whole lot of what you do in class. So if you are involved, there's a high chance that you will come out bold. You see, that's what boldness is very important. You can only become bold if you participate. If you participate, yes. So some of the questions that you should have caused fear in you will have been answered in class. You will have done it. You will have seen it. You will have participated in it. You will have been part of it. So those fears, before you know it, they are diffused. So in Scrum, we have three entities, really. We have three entities. We have the Scrum Master, we have the Product Owner, we have the Scrum Team. Scrum Master is one person. You can have multiple Scrum Masters within a company. You can have multiple Scrum Product Owner within a company. It's just one person. And the Scrum Team is a group of people, right? When we say Scrum Team, we are referring to the developers. We are referring to everybody that will be directly involved in building the solution, right? Everybody. So I will be talking briefly about the Scrum Master here. These are the roles of the Scrum Master. It's not more than this, right? What we do in class is just the practicality of it. But theoretically, this is what the Scrum Master does. He removes obstacles, he shields the team from external interference, he maintains the sprint burn down chart, he's a facilitator, not a manager, he conducts sprint retrospective at the end of the sprint, he holds a daily 15-minute team meeting called Daily Scrum. This is what the Scrum Master does, right? But of course, you cannot just read this and go and practice it. You need to know, you need to do it yourself, right? And I need to also say this. If you will truly and genuinely be part of this class, by the time you are done, like I said, you will be fit enough to work anywhere in the world as a Scrum Master. And the reason is this: everything you need for your interview, you will have gotten it here. The experience you need to ace the interview, to convince your interviewer. Because in this class, by the time you are in your group work, you'll be having little conflicts that will help you. When you are talking to interviewers, they can ask you a question. Oh, okay, did you encounter any problem? How did you resolve it? You can easily say, yes, I had a problem. I had a problem with some of my teammates. This is how I resolved it. I had a problem with some of my developers. This is how I solved it, without you having to lie, without you having to guess, without you having to fidget when those questions come. Because truly, while you were, having this simulation class, while you were having this project, these things happened. Yes, these things happened, and you resolved it. It might not be you directly, but you saw how eventually Mr. Jones and Mr. John now started playing after they had one or two heated arguments. So you saw how Akin came in and said, "Oh, guys, calm down. Please, let's not forget that this is not a personal thing. Let's not take it personal. It's about delivering the project. So please, let's not take it personal. Let's calm down. Okay, now I can listen to you. Please talk so that we can trash this issue." You heard that. You were in that group, even though you were smiling, but you heard it. Now they are asking you in an interview that, oh, have you ever had a conflict? You cannot say no unless you were not part of the class. You get me now? If you have said no, that means you were not part of the class. or you were not involved, right? So I beg you again, I need you to be, I need you to roll your sleeves. It's not difficult. It's not something that is scary. It's not coding, right? It's not coding. You're not here to code. It's human management, right? As it relates to software development, right? So we have the product owner there is also an entity in Scrum, right? This is what he does. These are his responsibilities and roles. He ensures team working on highest value products, accountable for product success, define all product features, gathers requirements, responsible for prioritizing product features, maintain product backlog. Again, we will learn this in class. When we say product backlog, what does it mean? When we say sprint, what does it mean? When we talk about estimation, what does it mean? When we talk about prioritization, what does it mean? How do we do this? What is my role in this? We'll learn all these things in class. And then we have the Scrum team, which, who are the Scrum team? Who are the people that constitute the Scrum team? This is, when we say Scrum team, they are just people, like I said, people that are directly involved in building the software, and typically we have at least about 7 people. We have the QA tester, we have the front-end developer, the back-end developer, the product designer, we have the DevOps engineer, we have the mobile developer, and everybody involved in directly building that software, right? They are referred to as the Scrum team, right? How do you interact with these people? How do you speak their language? Because as a product owner, you are the middleman between tech and business. You must understand tech, you must understand business, because you'll be speaking with the business side, you'll be speaking to the tech side, right? And it gives you the privilege. I mean, if you're a product owner, if you intend to be a product owner, you will meet people, really, because if you need to elicit, you will have if you need to elicit the CEO, yes, you must elicit him. If the development involves you meeting the CEO, then you must meet the CEO. Whoever the CEO is, you must meet the CEO, right? So as a product owner, you must understand tech. So how do you understand tech? How do you work with developers such that you understand their language? You hear languages like API, you hear things like integration, you think the API call, all these kind of languages. How do you database and all these languages? How do you understand? How do you speak the tech language? Right? These are the things we'll be learning in class. And then, we have Scrum active artifacts. These are primarily the documentations in Scrum and they are very sacrosanct. They are very important. The product backlog, the sprint backlog. These are things we'll learn in class. We will learn tools like Jira. It's very, very important. Very, very important. Very, very important. And some people have been practicing as a Scrum Master, product owner for years, and they don't even know how to use Jira, right? Some of them now are trying to run out and see how they can learn how to use it, because it's now becoming an industry standard, especially in software development. Who populates Jira? How to use Jira? Is it something I can know? Of course, it's not difficult, right? And that is why we are in class. That is why we are here, to learn all these tools, to learn all this technology, so that we can enhance our job, right? And then we don't have to bother ourselves. And Mr. Akin showed you some stuff, some job requirement there. We will, as we go in class, I will often open job requirements from UK, from Canada, any part of the world. We will see the requirement. You begin to, and I also implore people, please have a checklist. Okay, open you yourself as an intending as an intending Scrum Master or product owner. Begin to look at job requirement now, and then, okay, do I know this now? Yes, I know. Do I know this now? Yes, I know. So that you can come up confident to say, yes, I can do this. I've been taught in class, I know it now, right? So those are the things we'll be doing in class. Then what are the Scrum meetings? We also call them Scrum ceremonies. There are 4 of them. There is sprint planning meeting, there is the daily stand-up, there is the sprint review, and there is the sprint retrospective. These are 4 events in Scrum. Who facilitates these events? What is my roles and responsibilities in this event? Who are the people, who are the stakeholders involved in this meeting? Is there any document that should come out of all these meetings and and ceremonies? These are things we will be doing extensively in class. And then, just like I mentioned, there's the sprint planning, there's the daily Scrum, there's the sprint review, there is the retrospective. Another thing in Scrum is what we call estimation, right? And again, this is a very important part of Scrum, estimation, right? There is estimation, there is story points. What do we mean by estimation? Estimation is you putting a value to a business need, right? There are requirements that you have gathered. Somebody says, you know what, I need you to build me a software that I can use, that people can download music from, right? There are user stories. These are things you will be learning, user stories, how to write user stories, how to write epics, you know. So how do you now estimate these user stories, right? Like I said, they must have business value. They must have business value. Attaching a particular number or value, so to speak, to this business value is what we call estimation. And there are a lot of ways we estimate. We can use numbers, we can use sizes, we can use colors. But how do we do it? How do we do this thing right? If you join us, these are things you will find out. And then story point, we use it in when we are assigning tasks to people, to developers, right? We use story point, and this is basically to know how long it will take a particular developer to consume a particular task, or to finish a particular task. You want to be able to represent those things by numbers. And this is the pictorial explanation of Scrum. It starts from the product backlog, right, which is a list of user stories that has been prioritized. It goes into sprint planning meeting. Then we have the sprint backlog. It goes straight like this during the sprint itself, which is a 2 weeks or a 4 weeks event, right? There is daily stand up, on and on and on and on. We repeat this cycle until the software is ready for deployment. So in a nutshell, let me say this to you. This is not difficult. This is not difficult. It's something everybody can do. All I ask for is your commitment, right? When I give you assignment, do it. I won't be, most of the assignment will be a group work, right? It will always be done. But the fact is, are you part of the people that did the assignment, right? So you can be grouped into 10 in a group, 5 in a group. And the assignment, it's possible that the assignment will be done by just 3 people who are active in class. Don't be don't be one of those that would not be active in class. Don't be one of them. There are testimonies of people that have gotten a job. Even some have not gotten a job, to be candid. Some have not gotten a job, but at least, do you know the feeling? The feeling that you have been, for the very first time, you are being shortlisted. Within a month, you've been shortlisted 3, 4 times for a job, even though you didn't get it, right? That feeling alone is fine. That means if you keep going further, if you keep hammering, if you keep applying, that means there's a big chance that you get the job soonest, right? Some people, I did engineering. My background is in agric engineering. I don't think I've ever gotten an interview. I've ever been shortlisted in that field. I can't count, of course. I can't count how many interviews I've gone for now as a product owner, business analyst, scrum master. I can't count, right? But the fact is, I will need you here, and I need you to be involved. I need you to be ready to get your hands dirty, right? Get your hands dirty. If you don't, you will not have the confidence. You will go to somewhere else, want to get trained, and then you leave that place and go somewhere else. It's about you, right? But if you do it right, I can guarantee you that you will leave this training bold enough to apply for jobs and get the jobs without any form of fear, at all, right? So these are, um, yeah. So I think this is why I say thank you for listening. Is there any question at all?
Yeah, thank you, Babatunde. Before the questions, I will ask everyone to ask questions later, but before we start asking questions, I want to quickly bring a couple of people online to share their experience from the last batch. And I'll go to Australia first because I want to allow him to go and sleep. It's really late there. To quickly share his experience as per the training and the project. He's one of the sets that finished in December 21st. So I'll call on Abby. Abby, if you can unmute yourself.
Yes, am I audible? Can everyone hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. Hello, everyone. My name is Abby. I want to thank Mr. Aki for allowing me to come and share my thoughts on the last what's it called? The last course we did. Anyway, just a few thoughts on what happened. The course is a very nice course. The thing is that I had this course done before, which was from another trainer, Zero Systems. And to be honest, we never had hands-on like this. It wasn't a practical experience like we did with this one. But the truth is, when I did this one, it was a different experience entirely. Because after we did the normal what's it called, the theoretical session, which it was also Babatunde that took that one too. And trust me, Babatunde as a facilitator, he is awesome. That is just the honest truth. And even apart from after doing the theoretical session with Babatunde and the mini project that we did together, you know, Babatunde was still available to answer questions if we needed any help or assistance. He was also there. So that's one good thing about this stuff. And when we did the practical sessions, after that we had the part where we did a project, a live project. And to be honest, this project that we're doing, when we were assigned the project, and we're all part of the Scrum team, because what we did is that for 1 month, we were put in different groups. So I was a group with us as a Scrum Master. Then after a month, we'll inverse, meaning that I'll become a product owner and we'll do the same thing all over again. So it was all a good experience in that area. And the truth is that when we started the project, I didn't know, because I was also trying to, optimize my LinkedIn profile. And when I was doing that, I had already joined up with Learn with Pride, and I found out that Learn with Pride advertised the project on LinkedIn. And that's when I was start telling my group members that this project we're doing, it's not a make-believe project. It's actually a real project. It's the real deal. And it also has a timestamp on it. So that was how I knew that what we're doing is real. And the truth is that you doing that live practical sessions with your team, you can also put that in your CV as a practical project that you have done. And that will also help you when it comes to interviews, because most interviews come with, most interviews now, they don't ask you theoretical questions anymore. They want hands-on experience. They're going to ask you, they're going to put you in the driver's seat. Like, if you're actually doing this thing, if you say you've done this job before, okay, tell me a scenario. They will ask you scenario-based questions. And if you can only answer those scenario-based questions if you have actually done scenario-based, you've tackled scenario-based issues before, this is where the hands-on projects comes in, you know? So that's one of the awesome things about this. And I trust me, if you do this course, I know for sure that a lot of you definitely love what goes on. You definitely get a job, that's for sure. I'm really, really optimistic about that. I haven't got a job yet. I just did it last month. But I know I'll be getting calls. I've staged some interviews are coming. They haven't come yet, but they're coming. So I know that I'm very optimistic about what's going on. And I know that anything they call me for, I'm okay enough to answer any questions they bring along my way, because I know I've had hands-on experience. There was even a particular session where doing our project sessions, where we're actually doing the project, where we had a bit of an issue with the group team members, you know, kind of like some kind of arguments came up. This group team member was shouting down at this group team member, that team member was shouting about that one and stuff like that. And everything was at a disarray. And somehow one of our team members, brought everybody back to queue, and we were able to sort out our differences. We were able to come back to the drawing board and talk about the task at hand. That alone is already an interview question and answer. How do you resolve conflicts within the team? How do you bring everybody back to the basics, solve conflicts within the team, and how everybody aligned to the product goal? That was already an interview question and answer as it was. So definitely you have scenarios during the time that you guys are working on your project where you will have those kind of things that will come up, where you can have interview questions and answers that you can always, respond to and answer. So yeah, so basically that's the whole thing. And there's a lot of support. We had a BA on the job, even when we didn't have a BA on that project. A BA came, we had a BA on the side who also helped with the project. And we did what needed to be done, and we did it well. We had a tester, we had the developer, we had everything on ground. We did our sprint 1 and sprint 2. So everything is just hands-on and practical. The practical side of things really works very well. So I want to thank Mr. Akin for allowing me to come on to share this, and thank you, everybody. Thanks very much.
Thanks, Abby. I called you first because I want you to go and sleep, as it's really late where you are.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Thank you.
No problem. Thanks for that. I really appreciate. As I said, it's one of those that finished in December. I'm going to call on someone else now, finished in December as well, and he recently secured a role, I think a couple of days ago. I'll call on him to come and share his experience, how he was able to secure a role and all of that as well. So Roger, if you can unmute yourself and talk. Thanks. Over to you.
Hello, good afternoon, or could you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
All right. Thank you so much. My name is Roger. I live in Leicester in the UK. Where do I start? I had an army background. I was in the British military for 8 years. I came out, I decided to do project management for a while, for almost a year. And then, I decided to get into this side of things, and someone introduced me to Akin. And before I even came to Learn with Pride, I had done a training with, I would mention the name, London School of Informatics. If you want to check, you can check it. It's called London School of Informatics. The training I had was 2 days, Saturday and Sunday. That was the only training I had. And so my friend said, I don't think you are going to be in the best position to apply for jobs having only 2 days. And I realized, okay, it looks like it's true. I enrolled with Learn with Pride, and I was blown away because Learn with Pride at the time, the amount that I paid was lesser than what I paid for London School of Informatics. I paid 650 quid for London School of Informatics for only 2 days of training, and Learn with Pride was cheaper than that, 100%. And guess what? Throughout the course, Mr. Babatunde was the person who took us through, and he was very, very helpful. Mr. Akin was joining the meetings, like the previous person just said, we had our issues. Issues were popping up each and every day. Guess what? People came on. I came on specifically because I had done my Scrum Master exams. And so I came with the mind that, okay, I'm coming for Scrum Master. But guess what? Mr. Akin said, listen, guys, open up your mind, okay, and do something else. Put in your all. So I decided, okay, why not? It's a Scrum Master product owner course. Don't limit yourself, because at the end of the day, if you're coming in as a Scrum Master, you're going to be working with the product owner. So it's only brilliant for you to learn everything. You get into a job, and then you know that, okay, you know something about your product owner's job. When he's not there or whatever, you can step in, and then everyone can see that, look, listen, this guy is being productive. And so, yes, we went through the course. It was recorded. Every time I had to keep going back and listening to it. Any questions, Babatunde is there to answer any questions. It was good. I mean, we got on really well. We had our own issues trying to do our projects. Yes, we couldn't even finish the project. But at the end of the day, like Mr. Babatunde keeps saying, get your hands dirty. I decided that I had resigned because my former workplace, there was a lot going on and I felt it wasn't the right place for me. And so November, I had resigned. And so for me, it was like, I am going for this. Nothing is stopping me. Nothing is stopping me. I kept going and going and going. We finished the course. We didn't even finish our project. That is also an interview question, right? And so like it was said previously, you've got to give it your all. This course, yes, it's not difficult, but time-wise, I know we've all got, some people have families, I have 3 kids, and so it's not easy, but you know what you want because you want to get a better life for your family, for yourself and your family, I guess. And so you've got to give it your all. You see, a lot of people on the course, sometimes some people just didn't want to do homework. They're only leaving it for the few. But guess what? Yes, it's frustrating, but I decided that no matter what, I am going to stick in. A few of my colleagues also had the same mentality. And so we became more like close friends because each time we are the only ones doing it and we're getting our hands dirty. We fast forward, we finished this course. I decided to get my CV ready. I spoke to Mr. Akin, what do I do with my LinkedIn? He answered a few questions. I decided that, okay, why not? Let me do it. I did it, started applying for jobs when I was just sat at home. My first interview as a Scrum Master was last Wednesday. And guess what? I did the interview at 2 p.m. By 5:30 p.m., they had called me, guy, we want you now. And I'm like, what? This is just like a dream come through. And so I told them I'm starting on Monday, and they said, well, please calm down now, calm down. We've got to post you your items, your laptop and stuff like that. So we would plead with you to start on the 16th of January. And so I'm very happy with this course. I will not lie to you. I've wasted my money. 650 quid has just gone down the drain, with the 2 days course that I did. And so, guys, all I will say is that forget about everybody else. Get your hands dirty. Ask questions. Don't limit yourself. Keep watching YouTube videos. Listen to what Mr. Akin will be teaching you, or whoever your tutor is going to be on this course. And definitely, if you get your hands dirty, listen, you will come out and you'll be flying. You'll be shocked. You'll be shocked by your own results, honestly. And so, yeah, this is what I've got for everyone. Thank you so much, Babatunde, and thank you, Mr. Akin, as well. Thank you.
Thanks, Roger. Really appreciate.
Cheers,
Please,
boss.
thanks. If you have any question, please kindly raise your hand, and I will be calling those that raise their hands. Or you can drop your questions on the chat. I'll be reading them out as well. But I think the most easiest way is just to raise your hand, and I will call everybody that raises their hand up. Again, quickly, let me go to someone else who probably wants to talk about his experience as well. He finished in December as well. It's just a way of reassuring that anything you put your mind to, you can do it. If you commit yourself into the process, you can achieve it at the end of the day. That is just it. So I'm going to call on Olatunji, if you can unmute yourself, and just for 2 minutes, please.
All right, thank you. Thank you very much, boss. I appreciate you. And well, my experience, or like my experience I had for the training was awesome. Someone like me, when I first moved to the UK, right, I had no tech background, and so I wanted something easy for myself. I wanted something remote. I felt that was what was best for me. And initially, I was scared because I have tech friends, and I know they are into programming, they are into, they do all of this software engineering and all that. So the first fear I had was, I'm not a tech guy, I'm not a coding guy. Can I, find myself in this space? And so, just like Roger said, I tried also applying to some places. Funny enough, I also applied to London School of Informatics, and when they told me the training was for 2 days and then £650, I was scared. I was like, will I be able to achieve all of what I want in 2 days? Right. So I came across Mr. Akin's page on Instagram, and then when my first salary came out, the first salary I earned in the UK, I removed from it and tried to pay for the training. And thankfully, Mr. Akin allowed instrumental payments. So I was able to finish my payment in, I think, about 2 or 3 installments. And when we started the training, Mr. Babatunde, very awesome trainer, broke down everything, and then it was just like in fact broken down to pieces. And then I was shocked. I was like, so this is tech and all of that. So for me, the training was awesome. I was able to blend in, and currently we are on our live project. We are rounding up our second sprint in a couple of weeks, and I can say that honestly, it's been awesome. And it was a soft entrance for me into the tech space. Honestly, the Scrum training I had was a soft entrance for me. And after the training, some went for product owner. For me, I said, okay, I think I'll be okay with Scrum. And then since December, I've been training out my CVs. They did CV refinement, LinkedIn refinement, and everything has been fine. I've been getting calls from some recruiters, and then I know that at the end of the day, it's all going to be fine. So thank you very much, Mr. Aki. I want to encourage everyone. It's a training you would not regret, honestly speaking. Thank you very much, Mr. Akin.
Thank you, Olatunji. Really, really appreciate. Yeah, so that is it. That's just few of those that finished last month, 21st of December. That is when they finished. And many has been getting calls as well. So, and as you can see as well, even someone has secured the role already. And they just finished. It's not even up to a month that they finished. So, as I said, if you put in the work, you will surely reap the works of your hand. Again, please, if you have any question, only 3 people raise their hand. Please raise your hand on the chat, and I will call you. But before I call on people that raise their hand from the chat, someone mentioned from people testimonies on air, seems like one has to do more than one session to get through. I don't fully understand what you meant by one session, but I can only tell you about what you get from us. As I said, this is a 3-month journey. It's not a quick fix journey that you have to do 2 days training. And as I said, from that 3 months, the first 4 weeks, it's twice a week, Saturday and Sunday, 3-hour session, Saturday and Sunday, 2 p.m. 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. Nigerian time, every Saturday and Sunday. So that's 3-hour session. So that will go on for 1 month. And after that, that will cover everything that you need to know as per Scrum Master or product owner. And again, mini projects will be done as well. Then when you are done with that, then you'll be put on a project where you now act as the role that you've been taught, probably as a Scrum Master or as a product owner, then deliver what needs to be delivered. Again, you'll be working in an agile setup. That means you have to get used to agile ceremonies like daily stand-up, sprint planning, sprint review, sprint retrospective, and all of that, which you will carry out during the course of your project as well. So it's more than one session. I don't know whether I've actually answered that question. So it's a 3-month journey. Just that you need to do more research after Babatunde's class, probably on Saturday and Sunday. Don't just sit back and relax. Do your own personal research. Always eager to learn more, because at the end of the day, if you secure this role, That is one thing about the world of IT. You need to keep learning. You can never stop learning. There's nothing like I know it all, I need to relax. No, you have to keep on learning. So don't just sit back after the class on Saturday and Sunday and wait for the next class to come up before you pick the recording up or the materials, or go on Google, YouTube to research more about the road that you want to go into. Knowledge is power. So please don't be afraid to go for it. I'll call on Owe, or I don't know whether I'm saying that right. If you can unmute yourself, Owe.
Hello, good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon, sir.
Okay. I thank you for this privilege. I really appreciate. But I am actually new to the tech industry now. But then, and I also understand that, like a couple of friends that I've spoken with, that have done different parts of the IT program, DevOps, data analyst, and what have you. You know, during the course of our conversation, and I also understand that they talked about support from I think from those that they got the training from. So I don't know if you do that. So
Yeah, probably you joined late. When I was doing my presentation, it's part of what I mentioned. So what is included in your package is the practical training, working on a live project, mentorship, support, interview preparation, and we give you reference for the period that you are with us. So for that 3 months duration, you get a work reference with us as well. So that is what is included in your package, because it's not about, we need to walk the walk with you as well. We don't just leave you hanging after the training. If you have interview preparation, we do that with you, until you secure that role. So support is part of the package, mentorship is part of the package, interview preparation, and also we give you reference for the 3 months duration that you're with us.
thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thanks. Harrison, you can unmute and talk, please. Harrison.
Hello.
Hello,
Thank you
Harrison.
for calling on me. I really appreciate the opportunity to be part of this. My question, actually, you've answered a part of it. I wanted to be sure of the duration, which you said is 3 months. And you said the first 4 weeks, it's going to be a 2 to 5 times 4.
No,
where we'll be having the Scrum Master training and all that.
3 hours per session.
Yeah. How about the other 2 months? What are we going to be doing with it?
Okay,
That's one part of my question.
That is when you'll be working on a live project with the rest
on
of
a live project. Okay.
Yes.
Talking of a live project, is it going to be online or is it going to be classical?
Everything is virtual, because the most reason why most people are moving to IT now is the opportunity for you to be able to work remotely. So imagine whether you are in Nigeria or you are in the UK and the rest of your team are in Australia, Finland, everybody's scattered all over the world. You don't have a physical place. So you need to learn how to work virtually. That is the whole essence of it. There's no physical, we don't have a physical class. We don't have so the project, the training, everything is virtual. Because at the end of the day, when you secure this role, and it's a remote role, how do you want to cope when you don't know how to work with your team members virtually? So you need to get used to things like probably Teams, scheduling meetings on Zoom, and all of that. That is how you work virtually. The most important is for you to do your work and communication as well. So everything is done remotely.
Okay, that's fine. Thank you.
Well, welcome. What's your other question? You said that's the first one.
Yeah, well, the other one was whether it's going to be online or classical, the duration, and whether it's going to be online or practical. Because I wanted to know if there could be a break in between, maybe for some of us who are having plans to travel in between in the period, because you said it's going to be starting at the end of this month, right?
Or it's starting on the 21st of this month.
21st of this month, which means it's going to go into March.
Yes, but
Yeah.
remember, anywhere you are, you can do it.
Yeah, that was why I asked the other
Yeah.
part, whether it's going to be classical or online. So I've just realized, even while away,
Yeah, you can do it.
as long as I'm online, I can still participate. Yeah.
That is it. Yes.
Yeah, that's fine. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Harrison. Eric, I'll call on you now. Eric.
That is that Susie. What is that?
I'm not really hearing what they're saying.
Hi.
Hello, Eric. You can unmute now.
Okay. Thank you very much.
You're
I think
welcome.
this presentation was very insightful and informative, and I personally really appreciate this presentation. Now, my question has to do with the fact that the first question is that, so anyone from any background, not that has nothing to do with IT, could take up this course and be successful in that person can be successful in his career, right? That's my first question. My second question is that non-related IT professionals who are taking up this course at entry level, is it going to really come in handy, especially if you put in a lot of effort to make sure you get through the course? Okay, so that's my second question. And then my third question would be that because we all have an educational background, and then we are trying to take up this course just to be able to reshape our career going forward. Is the certified Scrum Master and then the certified Scrum Product Owner, is it inclined towards a particular program? Let's say, let me take an example. For instance, I'm not an IT personnel, so I may not be speaking the IT language. And as well, I'm much more of an accountant. Would you advise that I go in for a certified Scrum Master or a certified Scrum Product Owner? Or what could be your suggestion on that? So these are my questions.
All right. Thanks, Eric. While you're still online, I'll try to remember all your questions. The first one is, number one, it doesn't matter your background, whether your background is literature, whether your background in school is language, whether your career background is customer service. It doesn't matter. What matters most is your zeal, your determination for that change, your hunger for change. Remember, I told you at the beginning of this session as well, I too came from an accounting background. I came from an accounting background. I changed as well. I transitioned as well. I now do software automation engineer, which is technical and involves coding. So you can do it with determination, with commitment, because you have all the support that would be needed on the journey. So it doesn't matter, even if you are new to IT, the course, because we are well aware that majority of people transitioning really don't know much about that career path. So we always start from the very scratch. We always start from the very scratch, so that the newbies or the ones that are not too newbies, we can carry everyone along. You understand what I'm saying? So it doesn't matter what is required of you on this journey is your determination, your commitment. And in terms of certification, I said the training, you are getting like 2 trainings for the price of 1. It's just for you to spread your wings, for you to be able to do multiple roles, to apply for multiple roles, either as a Scrum Master or as a product owner. And as regards the certification, if you still want, because I told you, we preach more of practical and hands-on experience, right? And less of certification. But if you still want to be certified, during the course of your training with Babatunde, he's going to tell you what certification exam you can sit for, whether it's a Scrum one or the product owner one, but it doesn't really matter. But what is matter to us, what is the most important to us, is the hands-on experience. Because even if you have hundreds of certifications and you don't have the practical knowledge, nobody will employ you, you know. So that is why we dwell more on practical training and hands-on experience. I hope I've been able to answer that question because I think I can't see you anymore on it.
Yeah, yes, you've been able to answer my questions, and I really appreciate these answers given. Yeah, but my last question will be that, you know, when I do my research, I realize that there are two organizations for Scrum. We have Scrum.org, and then we have Scrum Alliance. Now, which one are we aligning ourselves to? And if any, should there be any difference? What are the differences between these two? Okay, so I just wanted a clarity on that.
All right, Babatunde, I will hand over that to you. Hello, Babatunde, you can unmute yourself. If you're talking, we cannot hear you. All right, I think probably there's a technical issue there. We'll come back to that, but it will surely clarify that to you. That shouldn't be a problem. All right.
Okay.
Why we wait?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now. Yeah, go on.
All right, sorry. I was just about to raise up my hand to answer that question. So there are even more than 5 bodies that is offering certification in product owner in Scrum. There's a lot. There's Exin, there is International Institute of Scrum, there is Scrum.org, there is Sati Pro in US. There's a lot of them, right? So that's why yes, I can tell you which one is globally more recognized. Yes, I can. It's those two that you mentioned, which is Scrum.org and Scrum Guide. That is the sorry, what's the other one? Yeah, is it Scrum Guide now?
Scrum Alliance. Scrum Alliance.
Yeah, they are the two major industry standard, and I think Exin too, right? So, but
Right.
the thing here is know it first, know it very well. The certification is just to butter your ice, to put an icing on your cake, so to speak. Some job requirement to specifically ask for certification so you can say, oh, I have it, right? Many would not ask for it. And I used to tell people, right, you need a good CV to get shortlisted. You need to be able to wow your interviewers to get the job. If they ask for any certification at all, and you don't even have it, once you can be shortlisted, okay, let me say myself, if there's any certification that they ask for and I don't have it, once you can shortlist me and you can hear me out, I will get the job. I mean, with all humility now, because I will talk to you based on my experience. So that is what matters, right? You're getting the main knowledge, and then of course you can always decide which one to go for. Of course, those two are the industry standard. You need to get shortlisted by having a good CV and a good LinkedIn. You need to be able to wow your interviewers. Even if you have all these things, the certification, and you cannot really impress your interviewers, I mean, you might not have the job, right? So that's just what I would say. Thank you.
Yeah, that's true. Thank you very much.
Yeah, over to you, Mr. Akin.
Thanks. Sorry, I've been talking. I didn't realize I was on mute. All right, thanks. Eric, over to you. Sorry,
Yeah,
Austin. Austin, rather.
yeah,
Austin.
very well.
Sorry. Austin, are you there? If you are there, you can unmute yourself. All right, I think Austin is not there. Abiodun, are you there? If Abiodun is there, can you unmute yourself, Abiodun?
Yeah, good afternoon, sir.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Thank you very much for the presentation. But from what I've gathered so far, it seems the program is basically for tech. I'm a civil engineer. How does that?
Sorry, if you can come again, the line went off.
Said from what I've learned so far this afternoon, it seems the program itself is basically for tech. But I'm a civil engineer. How does it come in? How does it complement, or how is it useful for my field?
All right. So this program is for people that are considering a career change in IT. Right? So if you are considering a career change, let's assume what you are doing or your profession, probably you are fed up, you're tired. You want a change, whether for work-life balance, or probably you're planning to relocate, or you are looking for a remote job and you are considering an IT job, right? That is why I said your background doesn't matter. As long as, okay, I want a career change and I know I want to do, I've read about Scrum Master, and I think I can do it, despite the fact that I don't have any knowledge, background knowledge in IT or into Scrum, but I'm willing to put myself into the process. I'm willing to unlearn to relearn, and I'm willing to go through the process. And I believe at the end of the process, I should be able to get a job. That is the people that, so your profession doesn't align with what you'll be doing. You are changing career totally into IT profession. A typical example would be myself. My background was accounting, as I told you. But I was tired of accounting. I want another profession, which is not accounting related. And I did a similar course back then. So it's for those that want to transition. You are tired of what you're doing. You just want a change. You know, you want a better career, probably high-paying job as well, remote working, family work balance, and so on. And that is why you are considering that change. And that change you are considering, not that you've done it before. It has nothing to do with what you studied in school or what you are currently doing. You want to change completely to something different. You want to change completely to something that you've never done before. And that is why we'll hold you by hand and we'll take you through the process to equip you with the necessary things. And at the end of that journey, you will be able to compete with those who have been doing it in the industry. Have I answered that question?
All right. Sorry. Let me just say one more thing. So this Scrum we are teaching is applicable to almost any industry. We are teaching is that as it relates to software development here. So you say you did civil engineering, for example, is also applicable to your field. And I'll give you an explanation based on the explanation I gave earlier. I said Scrum or Agile is about delivering fast, delivering in bits, as to waterfall, which allows you to capture the whole solution at once and then build at once before releasing. So imagine you are constructing a road now, for example, a 10-kilometer road. Waterfall would be that, oh, this road will not be open for use until the entire 10-kilometer stretch is constructed. If you are applying the Agile principle, what you are saying is that, oh, can we build bit by bit? That means once we are done with the first kilometer, we can open it for use. People can start using it. Then we go that way until we finish building the entire 20 kilometers. So for every milestone, as we complete every milestone, we release it to the public. So that's Agile. So it's applicable to every field. As a matter of fact, Agile started with Toyota, is a car manufacturing company, right? So it's about efficiency. It's about people working together to achieve a goal within a limited time and focusing on the most important feature that people want, right? So is applicable to your field. But what we are teaching here is Scrum or Agile as it relates to software development. I hope that is clear.
Yeah, thanks for that.
Much.
Thanks, Abiodun.
Okay, can I go now, please? Sorry, this is Augustine. This is Austin.
Oh, Austin. All right. Welcome back.
Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah. So very quickly, my question is linking back to the guy before the last speaker around certification. So I really appreciate the focus on hands-on training just to know it well. But my question is, if one wants to do the certification, does the current cost of £499 inclusive of it, or something one has to pursue outside of it?
It's outside. That's outside the scope of what we covered. So that would be
okay.
Yeah.
And what is that cost like?
I think it's around 199. Babatunde, am I right?
No, for Scrum.org, if you want to take PSM1, it's $150. Yeah, $150 for PSM1. I think there are 3 categories of it: PSM1, PSM2, PSM3. But PSM1 is good for everybody. If you have PSM1, you are a professional. You are grew at it. If you are certified PSM1, which is $150, it's okay. That is on Scrum.org. Yeah.
Okay, but the training we'll be having, will it equip us for PSM 1, 2, and 3, or just PSM 1?
Okay, so the training is good enough for the entire PSM. I'm sorry, for them, for the entire certification, whether you want to take PSM1 or anybody at all that you want to write the exam with. However, I used to make this disclaimer. There is a massive difference between what the book says and the real experience out there, right? Of course, I teach the two. So sometimes you hear me saying, "Oh, this is what the book says. Oh, this is what you should. This is what is this is what is written in the textbook. However, this is what is applicable. We will get there. You will see these things as it is. For example, the book says that a Scrum Master doesn't necessarily need to attend a Scrum meeting. Now, that is not realistic. You can't do that. So what I'm trying to say is this: if you want to write any exam, I will implore you to get the manual, right, for that exam and use it for that exam, right? Yes, the class is good enough for you to pass your exams. I have materials. For example, if you want to take Scrum.org, I have question bank, right? Question bank for that exam that you can, practice, and you are good to go. Combined with the training, you are good to go. However, it's also important that you read the manual for that body. All of them have their manual for that exam. So you should go through it and then go for the exam.
Okay. Now, lastly for me, I know you mentioned Scrum Alliance, Scrum.org. There's also one I've had, SAFE, S-A-F-E, right? What is the difference as well?
Okay, so SAFE, like I said, is an acronym for Scaled Agile Framework, right? It's like an advanced Scrum Master. It's not necessarily so advanced. At least 90% of what it entails will be covered in class. So it just involves working from the portfolio management office downward. So that means as a Scrum Master, you are not just focused on working on a project. You are focused on how to align multiple projects going on in your organization. So for example, you might be working in an IT company and you might just be the only Scrum Master, or you are just 2 Scrum Masters, and you have about 3 or 4 or 5 projects going on concurrently, right? A safe Scrum Master is a safe Scrum Master, right? Or a safe Agilist will be that person who is trying to see how each of these projects align to the scope of the business or to the scope of the organization. So because again, and this is the practicality of Scrum. You can be working in an organization, you have 3 projects. For example, maybe there's an enhancement on a particular product. You want to enhance a product, and you are looking about 4 or 5 enhancements. Let me give you a typical example. Let's say, for example, WhatsApp. You want to include video call. That's a feature. You want to include maybe audio call. That's an enhancement. You want to also include say group chat. Let's assume those 3 features. You want to add it to WhatsApp. And you have 3 different teams working on each of these. So you have one team working on video, you have one team working on audio feature, you have one team working on the group call. Different teams. So now it's possible, and it happens a lot, that the 3 of them will not even know how what they are doing affect the bigger picture. They just know that they are working on a future video call. As a safe Scrum Master, you now have a bigger picture of how each of these projects is supposed to integrate and give WhatsApp a better framework. So that's just what we say when we say safe, stuff like that. It's just a little bit advanced to what we are saying, but we will talk about it. Yeah.
Okay, thanks a lot. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Really appreciate. I'll call on Rockford. Please, can you unmute and talk briefly? Ask your question briefly, please. Rockford.
All right, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Can everyone hear me?
Yes,
I
yes,
hope I'm
yes.
audible.
Yes, you are.
Okay. Well, I really appreciate the opportunity for this, should I call it a meeting? I really appreciate it. And my questions, let me see, there are just three. The first one is actually before I'm joining this, at where I joined, I'm at the verge of writing my Scrum Master Certified exam. As I've been through the training just to write the exam before I even got the link through someone that's online to learn with pride. And my question now is there any downside to having done my Scrum Master with another body? Then when it comes to the point of doing product owner, I'm doing it with another body, like the certificate I'm getting, like if it's for the certificate, if doing the product owner now with scrum.org, while the Scrum Master already is another certification, like maybe from Scrum Study. I don't know. That's the first question. Is there any downside to that? That's what I'm asking for my first question. Then the second question is like the certificate that we'll be getting after we have, or the exams that will be registered to write. Is it going to be coming from scrum.org, or is it going to have at least the badge of scrum.org or Scrum Alliance, even knowing that the certification is not just that important, it's just an icing to the cake. I just want to know if the exams that will be taken thereafter will have any of these globally recognized badges from the bodies, the Scrum bodies. That's the second question. Please, those two for now.
All right. Babatunde, do you want to take that?
All right. So I think I missed some few what you said. However, you can take your exam from anybody. You can take Scrum certification from Exen. You can take product owner from scrum.org. It's not what they look out for. No, sometimes they might be specific, but that is probably 5% out of the cases where they are saying, oh, we want this particular certification, CSP or PSM1, right? But it doesn't matter whether you have your product owner with this body or you have your Scrum Master with that body. It has nothing to do, right? Certification is certification, right? It's not Scrum. It's not a body where you have one person to have vetoed it, right? Nobody has come to say, oh, this is what it is. This is what you should have. Or like PMP or like IIBA, just one body, right? But there is a lot of bodies. I think I know about 7 offering Scrum certificates, right? So it doesn't matter. I think that answers your first question. The second question, I'm not sure I got it well. Can you repeat it, please?
Okay, the second question is asking if the exams that will be registered to after the training from Learning with Pride will have affiliations with this Scrum globally recognized body. That's what I'm
okay, no. The answer is no, and you don't need it. The exam doesn't say that before you write it, you must be trained with an accredited trainer. It doesn't say, there's no prerequisite for writing these exams. Like maybe exams like PMP, like CBAP, there are prerequisites to it. The exam, you even have to pay for registration fee. They need to be sure that you are eligible, right? In this exam, there is no eligibility, right? It's just for you to read, understand, get trained in any private place. It's not a criteria, so there's no reason why you should have a certificate that carries the badge of PSM, I'm sorry, scrum.org, or carries the badge of anybody for that matter. So it's not, because it's not a criteria for the exam.
Okay, that is to say, after getting trained with Learn with Pride on maybe say a course like a business analyst, as in, do you still guide us to write the exam?
Okay, so this is a Scrum class. Okay, Mr.
Let me take that. So I mentioned this earlier on. Whether it's a BA class, a Scrum class, which other class we have, UI, what we train, what Learn with Pride stands for, I want to make it clear now, is a practical training and hands-on job. After that, if you now want to still embark that, oh, I'm keen about certification, that will be at your own private time to do that. But we as a company, we don't preach certification because we know and understand that this certification will not get you the job if you don't have the experience or the practical training. And with your practical training and hands-on experience, you can still secure a job without you passing any of the certification exam. So after this training, if you still, this training is just to equip you to be able to compete with those who has been doing it in the industry for 2, 3, 4 years. After this journey, 3 months journey, if you now think that, you know what, oh, Richard, I still want to do the certification exam, that will be your own, what's the English now to, that will be your own personal, let's say conclusion, or what is it now? Personal decision to do that. But we are only keen about what you need to know, what you need to learn to land you your first job. And I don't preach certificate because I've got many certificates, and none of the certificates I've got has in bank me any role until I have that practical knowledge. So that is why we don't really preach certification, but it's a good thing to have if you want to have it. I hope that has answered it.
Yeah, very clear. Thank you very much.
You're welcome, Rockford. Please, Precious, quickly, if you can unmute yourself and ask your question quickly, please. Precious.
Hello, thank you so much for this session. I don't know if you can hear me.
Yes, loud and clear.
Thank you very much for this taster session. I'm from Australia, and I just wanted to, I chatted with you before you sent the link. I was just curious to know about, whether people anywhere or was it just for those in the UK. So I've actually heard from someone in Australia, so that's very good to know as well. I just wanted to ask, actually, someone has actually asked that question, but we've not got the answer yet. As to, most of these jobs now, they're looking for 2, 3 years minimum experience. And
yes,
that's another thing that, and I actually wanted to be in this sister session because that's one question that is really bugging me to ask, how we can translate into our resume this experience, because no one wants someone who doesn't have that experience. And also I know that we have, like you said, we could apply to jobs like anywhere, because I'm in Australia. I know that a lot of the posts will probably be UK jobs or something, so it's like curious to know. You said you guys have job links for like anywhere in the world, so yeah, that's just something I wanted to find out as well. And it's 3 months training, right? So like after 3 months, what happens? We can't get any advice or support. I just want to know that as well. Thank you.
All right, no problem. One thing I'll tell you is, number one, the WhatsApp number on your screen, if you have not messaged me, you can copy that down and message me. But one thing I'll tell you regarding referencing is, for every problem, there is a solution, right? This session is being recorded. So if you want more clarification on that, you can DM me and I will be more than happy to shed more light to that. So for every problem, there is always a solution. Yeah, so that is not a problem at all. And as I said again, for the 3 months, I know you need 2 to 3 years on your CV. The way your CV will appear at the end of the day will be more like a contract you've been contracting. But again, if you private message me, I'll talk more or shed more light into that. And again, after the 3 months, because if you do what you're supposed to do during the course of the program, you are active, you're doing your task, your deliverables, you are not lagging behind, you're carrying your teams, you are working as part of a team and all of that. If you do everything that is required of you, and outside of that, do your own research. After the 3 months, you'll be in a position whereby I can confidently tell you, you'll be able to compete with those that has been doing it for 2, 3 years, 2, 3, 4 years. And we have many testimonies like that. But so all you need to know, or all you need to come on if you want to join this batch is, your determination, your commitment, and ready to walk the walk, do the work and every other things with, even before God can favor us, we need to put in our own work, do our own best, then God will crown the works of our hands. And that is what I believe. Any other question I missed, Precious?
I think you covered most of it. I believe you have covered most of it, because I really had to ask this question because, like you said, this is not the first paid training I'm going to be going for. I've paid $1,500 and I didn't get anything like out of it. So it's not about the money. It's about, I want to make sure
The
that I
quality.
get what I really want. Yeah, and it's one, why I'm interested in this one is because the other ones did not offer that practical session, that practical, like, like almost like work experience, So even after paying all that money, I don't think that I got any value. And literally 3 months, they blocked the party off. They remove you from the group. They don't answer any questions you have.
Again.
So it
Okay.
really felt very weird. And I'm like, okay. So
Yeah,
that's why I really had to ask you these questions, like what support we will provide. I know that some people may get the job within the 3 months, some people may take a little while, but like
yeah.
what kind of support do we provide,
Everybody's
how long, and
yeah.
all of that, So I just needed to clarify, because it's like, if I had known all this, I would never, and if I had found you guys earlier, I'd probably not have wasted $1,500 on what,
I
Yes.
fully
Thank you.
understand. Yeah, everybody's journey is different, but what I can assure is, and with God's help as well, is, for if you are committed to the process, give your all to the process, you always reap it at the end of the day. It might take 1 month, it might take 2 weeks, it might take 2 months, but if you don't give up, you surely testify to it. And some are so lucky and favored as well, like Roger, who testified earlier on. That was his first interview and he got the role, but someone else might not be the first one, it might not be the second one, it might not be the third one, it might be the fourth one that you get. But the key thing is never give up. Never give up. That is it. Yetunde, please quickly, what is your question? Unmute yourself.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Precious.
Oh, okay. Good afternoon, everyone.
Yeah, good afternoon, Yetunde.
Good afternoon. Oh, yes. I've got 3 questions to ask. The first one is regarding the first month of the training, which is the training we'll be having. You said Saturday and Sunday is included. Will the training be recorded? Because sometimes I might not be available for weekends training.
Yes. Every sessions are recorded, yes.
And then we can go back and have access to that.
Yes.
Okay. And then the second one is after the first month, then the real life work experience begins.
Yes.
And what time would that be? Is it
all right?
Okay,
that is a good question. Let me quickly answer that. So because you'll be following agile methodology, right?
Yeah.
There's one of the rituals. There's something called daily stand-ups. That
Okay.
is an everyday meeting, like a stand-up probably for like 10 or 15 minutes. That you
Okay.
need to give report on what you're working on to your team members.
Okay.
The timing, I don't take charge of the project. When you are grouped with your team members, you'll be the one that will decide the most suitable time for everyone.
All right. Okay.
You know, so majority will carry the vote. It might be 7 p.m., it might be 8 p.m., but I don't have a say. I leave that decision to the group, to the team to make themselves. So that has to be every day. And part of the 2 weeks, if you're following a 2-week sprint, you have to do what is called a sprint planning as well. That might last like 1.5 to 2 hours. You have to do a sprint review. That might last another 1.5 to 2 hours. And you have to do sprint retrospective. But that will only occur during your 2-week sprint.
Okay.
So there's one that is an everyday occurrence, which is a daily stand-up, and the time for that will be decided by your team.
Okay, all right, okay. And then the last one is, could you please kindly explain more about the installment, or I have to go through the WhatsApp?
No. I can. Why not? I can talk about that now. So half of the payment is required to start.
Okay.
Right. And the other half will be due before you start on the project. So that means in 4 to 5 weeks time, after you start the training,
all right.
The balance will be due just before you start the project.
Okay, so that'll be one in this January, and then the one will be
February.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh, all right. That's all right. Thank you.
You're welcome. Judges, please you can unmute yourself and ask your question quickly. Judges, you can unmute yourself if you're still there. All right, Judges is not there. Kolapo, you can unmute yourself. Kolapo. Kolapo, are you there? If so, you can unmute yourself. All right, Udo, are you there? You can unmute yourself.
Yeah, good afternoon. Thank you very much for this session.
Good afternoon.
I'm sort of just going to get quickly into it. I have the certificate. I think what you're doing is the best way to give out practical experiences, things that we can use to build up our CV. So kudos for that. I'm just interested to know if we will be experienced or exposed to certain tools, Jira, Confluence, during the practical training part of it. And if you can.
Yes. It's one of the key aspects for me, one of the most important to be exposed to the industry standard tools, right? It's not only about the training, you need the tools to do the job. So yes, you'll be exposed to the likes of Jira, Confluence, maybe Azure DevOps, and Planet Poker, Idea Board. Yes, you'll be exposed to tools that you need to use on the project.
And in your experience, or maybe I'll ask Mr. Babatunde, how comfortable will you be in your skill level of using those tools at the end of it? Will you be, obviously you can get a job, but are you going to be somewhat intermediate level, having had the practical experience, of course, with your 100% input into it during the training?
All right. Before I go on to Babatunde, I'll tell you is all these tools are very simple to use.
Okay.
Right? They are not complicated at all. But the best way to master your onions is at your own free time. I do tell my students, because I facilitate my software automation testing as well. I do tell my students, aside the class, you need a minimum of 2 hours every day for you to dedicate into this process personally. Because I'm telling you that at the end of the day, you have to compete with those who have been doing it for 2-3 years. it's all these hours that you spent, extra hours that you spend to research, to using the tools, making mistakes that will make you that will perfect that imperfection.
Okay.
So it is all these hours that will add up at the end of the day for you to be able to compete effectively. So to master your trade, aside what Babatunde will show you in class on Saturdays and Sundays, you in your own free time. If you don't have a free time, you have to create a free time. If you have to stop Netflix, you have to stop Netflix for the next 3 months. If you have to stop going to parties on Saturdays, you have to stop it for the next. You need to make the sacrifice, and it has to be an everyday thing, not a Saturday medicine or Sunday medicine. That will not work. So for any tools, I can tell you in 3 months, you using the tools every day, even for 2 months. Yes, you'll be more than you'll be more than intermediate. I tell you, because during that 3 months, you must have made a mistake. Correct your mistakes. Learn so many things about the tool. And YouTube is there. The only way we are different from YouTube is you have the support. You can come to us if anything is unclear to you. But yes, you'll be so proficient in using the tools.
All right.
I don't know whether
Thank you.
Babatunde wants to add to that.
Yeah, I don't know if it's
all right. Okay, let me just say, if I am to underrate this class, this training, I would say that by the time you are done with this class, you should be at the intermediate level. You should be able to get a job, at the intermediate level. That is me really underrating this class. Like I said, there is little you will remember in what I say. I've said a lot. If you have to recap it, I'm sure everything I've said, you summarize it within 5 minutes. Everything I've said today. So you will remember little or nothing from what I say. It's what you do that will stick more. So when I teach some of these tools, I don't teach you verbally. You must have your laptop. Do what I do. So for example, to create projects on Jira, I'll create one. I say, yeah, everybody do the same. So that's why I said you must be really ready to get your hands dirty. If those days where you are supposed to create project and replicate what I do, those are the days you are not with your laptops, or those are the days you are not really present. Of course, that's it. So it's not something I'll say, okay, can you see what I'm doing? Can you see how I'm pressing? No. That's not how I do my thing. Press it yourself. Yeah, create your project. Do this. Look at what I've done. Do it yourself. And then, so that's how it is. I would say, yes, by the time you are done with this class, you should be proficient in these tools.
Okay. Thank you both very much. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Joseph, quickly, one question, please. You can unmute yourself.
Okay. Hi, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yeah, loud and clear, Joseph.
All right. Thank you very much for the session. So I have just 2 questions and actually a quick one. The first one being when is the next cohort, like after this one?
Oh, that would be in February, probably 6 weeks after 21st.
Okay, so like how many cohorts do you have in a year?
We start another cohort as one. As I said, the actual training is just 1 month. The other 2 months is you working on the project. So another training starts like probably 2 or 3 weeks after one is finishing.
Okay, so my second question, I think this goes to you and probably Mr. Babatunde. So presently, I'm in a product role in my organization, product analyst, as well as product engineer. I also do more of product designing. So, and I've been looking out for a product management course proper because I didn't really have a formal training on product management. But because of the role I play, designing and several stuff, so I was drafted into the product analyst role, of which I was to learn from somebody and also advance more. So I was hoping, what is the relationship between the Scrum Master and product manager?
Babatunde, over to you.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
All right. So I get you very well. You cannot become a product manager without understanding the Scrum framework. 90% of your job as a product manager is within Scrum. So, because like you say, you're a product analyst, so you know there's a lot of analysis you do on every product. However, as a product manager, your journey starts from designing a product roadmap. You know, apart from the documentation, you have to do like the maybe the scope document or what have you. But it goes from even pre-development to development up to post-development. So for example, as a product manager, you're asked to design the go-to-market strategy because you have to monitor, want to know how it's faring, downloads, how many, you know, it is you as a product manager that still gets to worry about that. So to get to that point, to become a product manager, I mean, your journey also should start from here because you'll be working with development team. You will be, you know, we are talking about this UAT testing or the beta testing, all these things. You will be supervising it. You'll be managing these people, right? So, just to answer your question straight away, you need this together with some other things to become a product manager, like how to design a product roadmap, how to design a go-to-market strategy, how to, you know, put in some level of governance, right, in a development team. So yes, this is part of what you need on your journey to becoming. In fact, I don't think there's any product management course that you will see that won't talk about Scrum. It's a very vital part of it, right? So thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Babatunde. I hope that answers our question as well. Quickly to Nwadike, you can unmute yourself quickly, please.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
I'm glad to be here. I think my question have actually been touched. I was going to actually talk about if the Jira tools will be used, but I had the convener saying it, so it's okay.
Yeah.
I'm fine.
All right. Thanks so much. Oluwatoyin, can you unmute yourself, please?
Can you
Hello.
hear me? Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. We can hear you. Yes.
Okay, thanks for the presentation. Please, I'm very new in IT. It's just like I want to change career, so to say.
Yep.
So a friend told me yesterday that I need to ask myself, am I going to get employed because I do a business. I'm into food processing.
Okay.
So, but I just want that IT, you know, I've worked for like 11 years in a pharmaceutical company, admin, HR, but I didn't do the HR fully. With what I can understand, what a friend told me that is like you are doing HR, you are managing, because I managed engineers, some admin people in my former place of work. So is it similar? That's that. Then two, I learned that the market is saturated, that people don't really look out for Scrum masters like before, that the market is saturated. Is that true? Then also my third question about payments. I don't know if you said it's 400, but there's discount if you're able to. I can't pay now. What's like how many times can one pay if I'm in Nigeria presently? So I need to know how I can plan and maybe start with the second court, like somebody earlier asked in February.
All right. As
Hello?
I said, yeah, as I said regarding the payment, half is required to start the journey, and the other half will be due just before you start the project, and you'll be starting the project like 5 weeks after the training has commenced, right? So that means twice, you can pay twice. That's regarding the payment. And for the other cohort that will be starting, that will be sometimes this should be, so another cohort should start like 6 weeks after this one has started, because the training is for 4 weeks and the project it's for 2 months. So another training can start in 6 weeks or 7 weeks time from 21st. As for the other question, Babatunde, can you answer that? About the market.
All right. Yeah.
You are breaking up. You are breaking up now.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Hello, can you hear me? Is it better now? Is it
Yes,
better now?
yes.
All right. Okay. So let me say this. It is saturated. It is not saturated.
You are still breaking up. Hello, Babatunde, are you there?
To find out if a profession is becoming obsolete is by the salaries they're paying account clerks now. You're from or account officers. You see how much they are paying them because accounting as it is becoming obsolete. It's becoming digitized, right? So Scrum Master is still highly in demand. Somebody mentioned SAFe the other time, right? So that SAFe is beginning to gain. SAFe is just like a 10% extra of what you have now. It comes with experience. Being a safe agilist, or what you say, or a scale safe Scrum Master comes with experience over the years, right? Because you are working from a portfolio level down, top down, so to speak. So it is still highly in demand. You can Google it for yourself. The demand is high, right? And even in Nigeria, I think it's becoming high, right? So that's what I can say. It is still very much in demand too. I didn't get
You
your
are
question
saying
well. You said
confidently that we can compete
this
with
is the
those
first
who
time.
have been there in the last 3 years. I'm trying to get that well, that we can compete after learning for 3 months. How
I
do you
wouldn't
compete
say
with those that have had like 5 years experience?
Okay. So if I tell you you can straight away compete with them, I will be lying to you, right? Somebody has been practicing for 5 years. You are just starting out now. There are so many things he has learned over time that you probably have not learned, right? So, but the bottom line is this: like any other career, you are not there to compete. Yours is to get your own part of the cake, right? So the question is this training good enough to get your own share of the cake? Absolutely. You also will go through your journey. In the next 2 years, you will now find out that, oh, even this 6,000, even this 60,000 pounds is too small for me. 2 years, I've seen this, I've done this, I can boldly say that I've been part of 3 projects that is out there, that is live, right? So you can begin to also ask for more, demand for more, right? But for now, what I'm saying is this training is good enough for you to get your share of the cake. You can finish and then get a Scrum Master job that still pays you about 500,000 naira. That still pays you about 600,000 naira. Yes. But of course, you know that there is a whole lot that goes into that happening. Getting trained one, strategically positioning yourself is another. You can have your own skill, even if you don't know how to even use LinkedIn or Indeed, you might not easily get the job. If you still depend on those job recruitment platforms to get the job, it can frustrate you. Things like Jobber Man, you will not get the job. It will apply, you'll be tired. But easily on LinkedIn, you can even start getting interviews within 2 months, within 3 months if you do it well, right? So yes, I wouldn't deceive you by saying, oh, you can compete with people that have been practicing for 5 years. They know something you don't know, and that's why they've seen projects not being completed. They've seen projects. They've seen finances affecting projects. They've seen a whole lot of things within their last 5 years. Conflict here and there. Developers messing up. A whole lot of things is what they've seen. So that's just what I'll say.
So is it like HR job? I was asking.
Hello, I hope that is.
Yes, I'm asking. Is it like HR job?
It's not an HR job. It's not. No, it's not like
clear.
HR job. I think correct me if I'm wrong. HR involves managing people, managing resources, putting in place governances. So HR can be likened to a project manager. You are managing budget, you are managing resource, you are worried about vendors, a whole lot of things. A Scrum Master is at the development stage. So look at it this way. For you to construct a house, right? That can be likened to a project. You know, you have to buy land, you have to get the necessary documentation, you have to get the bricklayers and everybody that will be working. That's a project. The building itself is a product, right? You having to worry about, what kind of cement am I using? So that can be like an HR, you know, HR, they worry about everybody in every staff, right? Recruitment, salary, man, you know. But a Scrum Master is like a team lead. He doesn't need to worry about whether this guy is getting paid or not. It's not his business. But his business is to make sure that his team delivers, right? So it's like a micro HR. That's, I mean, for lack of a better word, there's a micro managing that is involved in Scrum Master, as a Scrum Master, right? So it's not HR, although some HR being, even my HR where I work is HR is Scrum certified because of that tech, you know, they just need to be tech inclined, right? But however, it's not HR thing. It's not.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, Oluwatoyin. I Abudu, quick one.
You're welcome.
Hi, my question is quite brief. So if you're to obviously join this course, can you also apply for other roles like business analysis or project manager roles? I just wanted to know that, or would I have to join another separate course entirely?
For project management, yes.
And
That's
business analysis, what about that?
Babatunde, actually, I think for this particular course, I can actually say you are getting like 2.5 for one, or 3 courses for one, or how am I going to? What do I mean? As in, you'll be trained as a Scrum Master, as a product owner, and a bit as a business analyst, because some of the roles, let's assume you start working now and there's no business analyst on that team. It's your responsibility as a product owner to know how to function as a business analyst as well. So it's going to go through all those with you as well, how to do those roles. But for project management, that is entirely separate. And if you want to focus mainly on business analysis, that is a separate course as well.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. All right, I think.
Again, I'm there. George, back, please.
Who is this?
Georges, you called me earlier about a camera.
All right. Over to you.
Yeah. Good afternoon, everyone.
Yeah, afternoon.
Yeah. I'm going to ask anyway. My name is George, and I'm a test analyst. I'm going to ask a question anyway. I'm going to ask a question. I don't know. It's not about Scrum Master and project owner. It's about IT. And the question, I'm going to ask a question because I hear you talk about it earlier in the introduction that you have people that learn with pride can help people to with a live project and CV build something like that. Okay. So as I'm working like a test analyst, and I'm recently start a new journey in IT, and I'm going to end it at this month. And I'm looking, anyway, I think Learn with Price, according to what I hear from you, I think Learn with Price can help me to get a live project on that particular role.
On what role is that?
So,
as a tester?
No, like a tester, like a Java software engineer.
Like a Java engineer?
Yeah.
Oh, no. So what we do is we have a project for every of our training. So what we have that is close to what you're asking is a software automation testing. Because the way it is done is all these roles, they work in Agile. So like IT project management, business analysis, software testing, and all of that. So we have a project so that everybody can come together and work as a team. But we don't have a project as for you to act as. So you are more like a developer. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, it's on that journey. So
Yeah. So we don't have a project. We can put someone to act as a developer. No, because we don't cover that training. So we don't have it.
yeah, but do you have? I don't know if Learn with Price can have someone can work with a partner with some people. Anyway, I don't know if you have someone who.
No, at the moment,
that.
we don't have any partner that requires such service. So we don't.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome. All right. Prince, I don't know whether you are there. If you are there, you can unmute quickly and talk.
Thank you.
Hello.
Yeah. I just have a bit of questions I've wanted to ask. I remember reading through, we were told that we'll be assisted in doing our CV, but from the likely from what you've said today, we are going to be signposted or referred to some revamp for our CV.
All right. You said you read through. Where did you read that?
Hello?
Yeah, where did you read it? Hello. You said you read it somewhere.
Hello?
Hello, I can hear you.
I can't.
Hello, I can hear you loud and clear.
So did you? Okay. My first question is that you are signposting us to revamp or so after the course. Are we going to be paying them to get our CV and then, what's it called, our LinkedIn page done as well?
Yes. If you have a CV that is up to standard on LinkedIn, you don't have to pay them extra to do anything like that. But if you don't, if you have a CV, I can review that, or we can review that for you. If not, if it meets the standard.
You.
Can everyone hear me?
Can you hear him? I can't hear him.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, everyone can hear me.
I can hear you.
Prince, I think you're having issues with the.
I can hear you.
All right. Go on now.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right. I said if you have a CV already that is up to standard and you have your LinkedIn profile already, you don't need to pay anyone to do that for you. But if you don't, or if it's not up to standard the way it should, that means you need to get it done. And it is not part of the service that we provide. But we have Career Deck Limited, which we partner with, due to their work, that they can get those ones done for you at a very reduced price.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then secondly, I'm just curious because actually I'm trying to put my all into this course and get it done and see what the year holds for me. So I want to give it my best shot. So permit me to say this, yeah. After the first month, I know we'll start the project. The next 2 months of it is going to be the project, yeah. And it seems like your other course will start running from there as well. Are we going to still have this intensive dedication time by our tutor to look after us?
It is not a one-man business, it is not, you have, when you're on the project, you have people that will manage that project. Aside you have people you can go to, and you still have your facilitator to go to as well.
So are we still going to have him on the project with us? That's what I'm trying to ask.
It might not be on the project with you, but you can reach out to him. But you have someone else on the project with you. But for any clarification that you are not clear with, you can still reach out to him. Right.
All right.
But aside that, you have someone that will manage the project that you can go to.
All right. And then how much is for the LinkedIn and CV page?
We don't, as I said, we don't undo that. So if you message Career Deck Limited, I think it's on your page, it's on your screen right now. If you look them up on Instagram, Career Deck Limited, and chat them up, they will let you know. Just say you are from Learn with Pride, that's all.
All right. And then the last one is 1 minute. Let me bring out my notes. Yeah, I just want to be sure. Yeah, I just want you to mention what sort of industrial tools will be taught on.
Jira, Confluence,
Okay.
maybe Azure DevOps, Idea Board, and IT Poker. Poker IT or something like that.
All right.
Poker IT is just for sprint planning. Idea board is used for sprint retrospective. Your Jira board is used for your everyday moving of tickets, epics, and all of that. Confluence is used for your documentation and all of that. Yeah.
All right. And then what are the times going to be on weekend? Is it noon, mornings, or evening?
So Saturdays is going to be 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. UK time.
1 p.m. to 4 p.m.
That will be Saturday and Sunday.
All right.
Is that fine?
Yeah, that's it.
All right. No worries. Thanks,
Thank you.
Prince. All right.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Let me just read. Let me see the question. For those asking for the account details. Account details.
Sorry, one more question, boss. Sorry.
Yeah, what is that?
Yeah, regarding the discounts. So for those of us that have been on the tester on the information section today, do we still have
20%? You have 20%.
Yeah, even if we are not doing the registration today.
Actually, is applicable to today's Saturday. Okay, I can extend it to Monday. So for 20%, that will be, yeah, I can extend that to Monday, but after Monday, then it will be back to normal.
All right.
No problem.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. For those asking for the account details, is on your screen right now. You can copy it, and if you want to message me afterwards, I've displayed the number on your screen as well. The recording will be shared. If you want the recordings, you can join the WhatsApp group. The recording will be shared on the WhatsApp group. So I'm just reading through the message whether yes, on the chat, yes, if you have any further question you want to ask, you can use any admin. You can chat, if you're on the group chat, you can chat the admin up, the UK number one, or the one on your screen. You can chat me and I will respond. I'll respond back to that directly. I love the journey of this team. Thank you. All right, I think we've spent more than enough time. Is that some people just raise their hand again, or did I miss these people? Harrison, have I called you?
Yeah, I raised my hand.
Oh wait, I think I've called you. Okay,
Yeah,
all right.
Harrison is
I
there.
do raise my hand too.
Okay, I'll
I
call
just
you.
wanted
Okay.
to ask.
Okay, Harrison, go
Sorry.
first.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask, the 20% discount, is it on the 499?
Yes.
Oh, yeah? Oh,
Yes.
that's good. All right.
Yeah.
That's fine. Thank you.
You're welcome. Oh wait, yeah, you can go now.
I just want to confirm what application are we using, and more so, are we going to download the application on our system?
I just mentioned the applications now, but don't worry too much about that. When you are not downloading it, don't worry about that. Babatunde will walk you through what needs to be done. So as I said, Jira will be used, Idea Board, Poker IT. Those are the ones in my head now. Yeah, but you don't need to download anything.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Who else is there that I haven't called? Is that Owe that just spoke now? All right, I think that's everyone. All right, so as I said, the actual training will be commencing on the 21st of this month. So I think that will be like 2 weeks time. So there's still enough time, and it's going to be an intensive, very intense journey. And if you are coming on board, come with your full determination, dedication, commitment, and the hunger for change, which is very important. So for any further questions you want to ask, you can contact us, DM us on Instagram or on WhatsApp, and I will respond to that, or my team will respond to it. I thank everyone for taking your time to attend this session. Hopefully you can come on board and we can walk the walk together and, testify at the end of the journey. Thanks everyone for your time, and sorry for taking long of your time as well. Hope to see you on the journey, and reach out if you have any other question. Thanks everyone, and have a good afternoon.
Hi, please, the WhatsApp link isn't working.
Thank you.
You said the WhatsApp link is not working. It is.
No, I've not been able to. I've been trying to.
Okay, can you see the
Somebody-
number? Can you see the number on your screen? Just add the number on your screen on your phone and WhatsApp.
Can you write the number again?
I'm
Okay,
sharing my
let me
screen, right?
check.
It's on my screen.
Okay.
So it's +44736.
I can't see it. Please, can you call the number?
Okay, +44. Let me type it. Okay, I'll send it on the group chat now.
Thank you.
Am I not sharing my screen? I thought I was sharing my screen.
You are actually. I can see your screen. I can see the number on your screen.
All right. All right, so that's the number. If you check the WhatsApp now, you see the number there. So just save that number and send the message. Is that okay?
Thank you. Yes, it's okay.
All right. So thanks everyone. Enjoy your weekend and hope to see you on the journey. Any question, DM us on Instagram or on WhatsApp. Thanks everyone, and bye-bye for now. Bye-bye.